we love our hometown. We love working with you guys. We've been longtime partners, and you guys are always there right with us. So.
I really appreciate you taking the time and, making yourself available.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just so dazzled by the work, yeah. I mean, I think I've been thinking a lot about all of the different elements of what goes into a successful launch. And
right.
I'm sure you've heard the term agile workstream methodology. I was trained, I took a course in agile methodology, which is instead of iterating, for months and getting something out, sort of doing it in an iterative process.
Right.
Which is what we were able to do with your team. Like they built something, then I reacted, then they moved the content over, and then I reacted.
Right.
And it was very efficient that way because we were really organized and I was organized. So I don't think, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I think I also was a step ahead, a little bit. I knew exactly how I wanted it to be done.
Right.
And, but I think the point is I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know if you guys could deliver it. I sensed that you could, but everyone was as nice as you were, Matt. Like I knew you were so nice on that first call, but you've got a team that's really nice and really capable.
I know.
Those two things.
I'm really lucky. Yeah.
Capable, nice without capable is really great. It's not really great.
Yeah.
And not capable, but really nice is also not really a good combination.
Right.
You have both,
Exactly.
And everybody felt that same urgency and eagerness to get it launched as I did. I felt like they were at least as invested in it as me.
What made you choose our hometown 3 years ago when we first met? What made you decide to switch from the other vendor?
Frankly, one of the things, I've worked with the other vendor for many years, but how responsive you guys have been, or you guys at least gave us the idea that you would be responsive, and it turned out that it's the case. So
great.
The support, I probably ran you through a few more hoops than you would have liked as far as design the site, and that's why I keep talking about we got to bring it back in. I asked my staff what would you like it to look like, and somebody said, "Oh, NPR is nice," and I'm pleased with the work setting it up.
Great.
Any bumps along the road were fixed, so.
Let's talk about that for a second, like the prototyping process. How did that go? You sent us the link, you said it wanted to look like NPR, and then we just kind of made changes and there was just a bunch of back and forth, or how did that go from your perspective?
A lot of back and forth and a lot of things. I don't know if they were screenshots or things that I in a PDF or somewhere or other that got into the system. And I remember talking to you about, what the most popular design was. And at the time it was that conglomeration, as I call it, old-fashioned 150-year-old newspaper, but, up at the top, a bunch of images so that you click on to get to things. And I said, no, no,
thank you.
We're not going to do that, and that was no problem. I mean, I didn't have to fit into a cookie cutter kind of thing. So that, that was one of the things. Price was right. The things we discussed early on, some of them we've implemented, some of them we haven't. You're usually a little ahead of, things I ask for, and then we got to catch up with staff and remembering to use them.
Are there any other features that come to mind? I really appreciate what you said in your email and what you just said about how we're ahead of the game and we're trying to drive things forward, and you guys feel like you're catching up with us, not that, you're pushing us to do things. So are there any other examples of that you can think of?
Well, I think, you're doing the audio now, but I think I mentioned today you have to be able to start, stop, throw away, start over again quickly and inexpensively, And
I think that we do uniquely serve the weekly paper because we're kind of taking on that responsibility of the R&D.
That's key for smaller organizations, even larger, smaller organizations. I mean, we're, we have six papers, but put them all together and you've got, 16,000 print circulation, so it's we're not a big organization, even though we have titles,
Right.
So, yeah, it's essential that we have a partner in terms of, willing to try things.
Was there any one thing about the company, Our Hometown, that made you, feel comfortable making that switch that you had, you guys had kind of admittedly procrastinated for a while just because you didn't want to have the problems, but was it because we only work with newspapers or because we're on WordPress? Was there anything about us that you liked, especially?
The CMS, the WordPress system was great.
Okay.
The fact that you were strictly with newspapers is like a huge relief that, you're specializing in what we do. It's not, you're actually tailoring to car dealers and people like this, and we're just part of it. The other great thing was that you're locally owned. You guys had a prototype to us in less than 2 days. And then we were up and running in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome. And that, the training and support and everything's been great.
Sweet.
Every time I've had a question, Terry especially, like, amazing. We just get instant response. Here's like great directions and step by step that kind of walk through and how to fix it and what to do, and it's been great.
Amazing, dude. Thank you so much. Every one of those points you hit on, I really am so proud of the fact that we can do these things quickly. It's our focus. So you've just reinforced the value of that as a customer. So I appreciate that.